Hi, I'm Mike, owner of the In-Groove in Phoenix, Arizona. Today I'm doing the new Arrival video for March 18, 2022. So a bunch of stuff to get to before I show you the stuff, which there's a lot of. But the biggest thing this week is I kind of updated the website. It's more of an aesthetic update, but there is some added functionality, so I figured I'd tell you guys about some stuff that you guys have been asking for and I've been working on behind the scenes, but I finally got it implemented. So I feel like the layout is a little better. You guys will have to let me know. A few guys have emailed me and they're like, it's horrible, can you please go back to the old one? But the reason I did it is because there's some functionality that wasn't available on the old one. The main functionality was you can now filter. So if you want to filter by price or you want to filter by stuff that's out of stock, which is extremely helpful in 2022 because almost everything is out of stock. So you don't have to look through a bunch of stuff that's not there. And there's some functionality now. This is going to come a little bit more in the future, but it's already on the website. But you can search things by label and by brand. So for equipment, you can search by brand, and by label, you can search by, Mobile Fidelity, Analog Productions, Impact, SAM, Pure Pleasure. All the labels are also available to search by. So yeah, but tell me what you guys think about this. I take my suggestions from you guys. Sometimes things are slow to implement like that because it's just me doing it and I know absolutely squat again, about website design. So I'm kind of just watching YouTube videos, getting little tutorials on how to make things work. So it's time consuming. But yeah, tell me what you think. Some pre-orders announced. Always great when there are Tone Poets announced. And every single month there seem to be Tone Poet pre-orders announced. A non-Blue Note title, Gerald Wilson, Moment of Truth. It's originally a Pacific Jazz title. I love the non-Blue Note Tone Poets because it's stuff that's typically never been done, and especially Pacific Jazz. I personally have always found it very, very difficult to get clean, quiet Pacific Jazz titles. Freddie Hubbard's Breaking Point. Now, both of these are coming out May 6, 2022. Also on the heels of them doing the Pink Floyd's Piper at the Gates of Dawn mono. It's essentially just a repress of the Record Store Day version without the fancy outer packaging. They're also doing Saucer Full of Secrets. That's due out April 29, 2022. So, month and a half. The Piper at the Gates sold out pretty quick. I had a bunch of big debacle with shipping on that. UPS essentially said they attempted to deliver the packages, which make no sense. They said business was closed, and it was this new address, not the old one. And they shipped it back to the East Coast, and then it came back. So it was a little bit delayed, but finally got it. Excited about that. But yeah, Saucer Full of Secrets. No issues, hopefully. Knock on wood. Seems like the shipping pipeline has gotten better. Things are moving better. Medium mail is moving quicker. UPS seems to be a little bit more reliable than it was a couple of months ago, but there's always going to be little quirks every now and then. Also, they're doing a reissue of the Rolling Stones and Muddy Waters live at the Checkerboard Lounge. It's a live concert. It's been out before, but they're doing it on red and white vinyl. That's coming out in August 19th. That's actually a really fun concert, and there's a lot of video of it on YouTube, so you can go to YouTube and watch it. But it's really cool. It's more like rock and roll Rolling Stones as opposed to now the Rolling Stones. It's all business. But, they essentially show up to Muddy Waters Club. He's playing a gig. They make it look like it was just spontaneous, which makes absolutely no sense because, halfway through the gig, the Stones show up. There happens to be a big empty table there. They come, they sit down, they drink. A couple seconds later, a couple minutes later, Muddy gets them on stage and they start jamming to, Baby Please Don't Go and some other tracks. Mick sings a little. Keith plays the guitar a little. It is a really cool concert. I've always dug the concert, but if you don't have it, check it out. Check it out online. It's really good. Also, I don't have to show you because they were really sticklers on sending it out too early, but I'll have it later on today. As soon as it gets delivered, which will be today, I'm going to put it in the system and you'll be able to buy it right away. Tools Opiate 2, it's the Blu-ray Deluxe Edition packaging. It's especially, it's the new remix, I think it was, of Opiate. There's a video on there. I'm not a huge digital guy, but a lot of people have been asking about it, so I brought it in. Wasn't hard to get as of now, as in comparison to what may or may not be the difficulty of the Fear Inoculum box set. Hopefully the Fear Inoculum box set is very easy and there'll be no hysteria. But, because then everyone's going to be like, Mike, you gymmed up a whole bunch of hysteria. But it's possible maybe I was the only one selling those box sets, but I doubt it. But yeah, let's go over the new arrivals. New this week for me, you know, these MFSL one steps are staggered releases. Mobile Fidelity doesn't mail 10,000 records out in one day. Not possible. You know, it's not Amazon. They stagger them out. So I've got my Muddy Waters folk singers. I've only got a couple left. When I get really, really close to the end of my allotment, I cut it off. I've never yet sold one of these Mobile Fidelity records that I haven't been able to fulfill an order on, and the reason being is I don't oversell them. So I've got a couple left, and I got a couple left. I finally went through, you know, getting everybody delivered and everything squared away. I had a couple left of a few other titles. So I'm charging $15 more than what the original retail was, so $140, but this sells for $200 on eBay. So it's still well, you know, well underneath going rate, and it is sold out everywhere. But yeah, of course, pre-orders are all either shipped out or in the process of being shipped out, be out later on today probably. But I've got Muddy Waters, folk singer. I, on a side note, have not listened to this record yet because I haven't gotten it yet. A lot of people have asked me, what's the difference between this and Analog Productions? What do you think? What do you think? What do you think? I don't have an opinion because I haven't got it till today. A couple more of Janis Joplin's Pearl. Same thing. I have these on the website well below market price. Same thing with Carole King's Tapestry. I only got a few of these guys. There's not a ton of these. This is just the, you know, a little bit of cushion I leave myself just in case. You know, I always leave myself a cushion. You know, you never know. Package gets lost by the FedEx. Package gets damaged by FedEx. It's not like, you know, I can just call them up and say, yep, need another shipment. You know, they're sold out almost always. Actually, going back to maybe Bob Dylan was the last time a title wasn't sold out on its, you know, scheduled release day. So it's not like I can call back up and just say, yeah, I need another load. I mean, that's not an option. So I always, like I say, give myself a little bit of a cushion. One more box set. Since it's up here, I'll show you. This is a massive Pixies box set. I believe this is on very colorful vinyl. This is live in Brixton, the Pixies. June 2nd through 5th, 2014. This is an 8 LP set pressed on indie exclusive splatter wax. 24-page booklet, photographs, new artwork, fold-out poster. It's on Demon. Looks, the LP splatter looked pretty cool on it. You know, I'm trying to think of the word, what is it, like the facsimile representation. Looked pretty good. Hopefully they come out looking that good. All right, let's take a look at this week's new arrivals, and I've got another full bin. This is probably for, you know, just new stuff, not restock. This is one of the busiest weeks in some time. So, you know, you get everybody complains every week. Oh, too much jazz, too much jazz. Well, that's, well, you know, manufacturers are releasing a lot of jazz. I don't control that. But this is a week of almost nothing, you know, almost no jazz. Almost everything but jazz. Band of Horses, Things Are Great. This is an indie exclusive translucent rust vinyl. So I'm going to assume rust is brown. This is not a new arrival, but this is a title that has been out of print in the United States for 2 to 3 years. It's Depeche Mode's Violator. I've been bringing in the import, but the import is like 2.5 times the price of this. This is like $20. So I figured I'd show it to you because there's just a couple albums that are so in demand that they never seem to stick around for more than a couple of weeks. This is one of them. Nothing Shocking by Jane's Addiction seems to be another one. It comes, sells out immediately, and you got to wait a couple years to get it. And it's been that way for like a decade. Franz Ferdinand, Hits to the Head. Limited edition double red vinyl. Booklet, bunch of stuff. Yeah. Life Between Islands. Soul Jazz Records. Also spent this week YouTubing videos on how to work my camera. I'm the kind of person that likes to get good quality stuff, so I bought this real nice fancy camera like a year ago that I absolutely had no idea how to work. And then all of a sudden it started turning blue. So spent a couple hours researching that, and I'm hoping at no point in time during this video does anything turn blue. Restock of some of the Jazz is Dead titles. Jazz is Dead 4. Great series. Azimuth. New arrival this week. This has been on the website for pre-order, but, and I really hope this is a continuing thing. Sundays did this with the Buck Owens stuff, where they are essentially doing budget, but audiophile titles. So, you know, not 40, 50 bucks, but 25 bucks. Mose Allison, I Don't Worry About a Thing, originally on Atlantic. There's 2 versions of it. Black vinyl and gold vinyl. Oh, what's cool, and I got both of them. What's cool about this is basic cover, right? Just modern harmonic, basic cover, but cut by Kevin Gray from the original analog tapes for a very reasonable amount of money. And this is not something that Sundays did in the old days. The old days, they would announce master tape, master tape, master tape, but stuff was never sourced from, cut from master tape. They're starting to do it, and they're using none other than Kevin Gray to cut it, which is fantastic. I'm not entirely sure when Kevin Gray sleeps, because he seems to be mastering a lot of records. I'm getting to the point where I'm wondering to myself, is Kevin Gray like, you know, is it kind of like a generic term for like a house of people mastering stuff? That's not the case, but yeah, he pumps out a lot of stuff. The Essential Music of Star Wars. This is on Music on Vinyl. This is their At the Movie series. But yeah, this is like a must-have. If you don't have any John Williams Star Wars stuff, this is kind of the must-have. It has the main theme, Imperial March, Duel of Fates. I mean, this is pretty much like the Star Wars greatest hits at this point, right? Oh, apparently I'm full of shit. Here's a couple of jazz titles. Come on, guys. Gotta have some jazz titles. Wouldn't be an in-groove video if it wasn't. George Duke. Feel. This is on MPS. Not really sure what's going on here. Their hype sticker really alludes to, or really hints hard that these are cut from analog tape. I'm not buying it because I don't really care for the wording. I'm not sure how they sound. I've never heard these represses, but Aura will prevail. But look at the hype sticker. What's it say? Audiophile analog remastering, right? I mean, that's seems like it would be analog. Liner notes and a picture of the original master tape box inside. I mean, that's like screaming we did this analog, but, you know, been deceived before. Ella Fitzgerald, this is all part of the same label. Ella Fitzgerald, MPS, European label. Sunshine of Your Love. And Bill Evans, Symbiosis. Same hype sticker. Okay, new album from Midlake. I feel like there's 3 different versions of this. Yes, there is. There's 3 different versions of this record. This is getting weird. These labels are, this is becoming more and more common. All right, what's the name of this album? For the Sake of Bethel Woods. So we have, this is the deluxe 180 gram transparent teal colored vinyl with the foil cover. Okay, then we have, this is, yeah, what, 30 bucks? And then we have a more budget version. So if this is the indie store, I don't know what this is, just the deluxe. I don't know if this is indie or not, but we've got Coke Bottle Clear Color, indie store at, you know, $7 less. And the standard crystal clear version. So, you know, got all your bases covered. What do you want? You want Coke bottle, you want clear, you want foil. Carl Perkins, the king of rockabilly, alternative version of Honey Don't, completely remastered on 180 gram vinyl. I really feel at this point in time in 2020, Carl Perkins is extremely underrated. This stuff is fantastic. Covered by Elvis and the Beatles pretty extensively. I mean, I don't know if that's not a testament to his songwriting capability. I don't know what is, but, you know, he seems to be just one of those artists that is kind of fading. I hate to say that. Carl Perkins is fantastic. There's certain artists that the young generation is picking up. Black Sabbath, Led Zeppelin, Pink Floyd, even the Beatles. Carl Perkins, unfortunately, ain't one of them, but fantastic songwriter, no doubt. The Pretty Reckless, Going to Hell. Looks like this is just a reissue on Purgatory Purple vinyl. Wait a minute, let me move my hand. There we go. That'd have been wrong. All right. Let me go ahead and butcher this name here. What is this? Charlotte Audrigi, Tropical Dancer. The debut album on limited edition black and white vinyl includes a download card. I think I saw somewhere online this thing was like super limited to like a couple hundred copies, but don't quote me on that. I think that was the album. Bo Burnham, Inside. This is the indie exclusive limited edition vintage glass vinyl. I should start a running tally of all the names they've given to different colored vinyl. Oh, more jazz. I apologize. Not a lot. These are a couple of titles from Pure Pleasure. I've been showing you these the last couple of weeks. Pure Pleasure, an all-analog label out of the United Kingdom. Very similar in construction, design-wise, mastering-wise to Speaker's Corner. Idris Muhammad. What is this? Kabasha. This is originally on Teresa. Good luck ever finding an original one of these. Very, very difficult. A lot of great Pure Pleasure titles in stock. I got a huge reshipment from them recently. You can just go onto the website and search by label, click Pure Pleasure. See everything I have, check. Show in stock only items. Boom. Easy. Mary Black. What is this? Babes in the Woods. So, so I think there's, and you can do it by category too. There's a couple limitations. If the search results over 1,000 items, you can't filter. So you got to kind of narrow it down a little bit. Lazy Queen, A Human Reaction. Sunhouse, Forever on My Mind. This is the indie retail exclusive limited edition black and white fleck vinyl. Stunning all-new album by the legendary father of the Delta Blues, featuring first time on record, Forever on My Mind. Yeah. Gonna give this a listen to. Love Sun House. For you guys that don't know, an indie exclusive is essentially just a color variation limited to independent record stores. So no Amazon box stores, that kind of thing. So the only way to get that color variation is from your local mom and pop independent record store. Grummel. The Grummel story. I'm going to go with Grummel. That sounds, looks like Grummel. On Decca. The Woman of Def Jam. This looks pretty good. Make the journey through time with the Women of Def Jam. First time ever recording color. It's a 90s to present day comp. Foxy Brown, Ashanti, Rhapsody, a little bit of, what is this, a 1-2 triple disc. Kind of 1, 2, 3 discs and kind of like a basic slipcover. Frank Zappa in The Mothers Live. Let's see, the complete historic final show of the Flo and Eddie lineup of The Mothers. December 10th, 1971, and I'm going to assume this is a triple disc. Yeah. I don't know about this. I'm going to assume no because it's a live concert, but most of the Frank Zappa stuff that is in print, most, not all, is cut from the original analog tape. I am not a Frank Zappa fan. Feel free to leave your negative comment, thumbs down right now, but can't do it. Maybe it was because I started with 200 motels, 2,000 motels, and that was like the worst taste in my mouth ever. Years ago, I was testing some reel-to-reel tapes. I bought some reel-to-reels, and I always, before I sell them online, I listen to them. Holy cow. That was the most excruciating, agonizing couple of hours having to test that tape. And it took me days because I could only stomach it for like 20, 30 minutes at a time. But yeah. Mothers, Fillmore East. There's some stuff that's okay. Some of the stuff's not bad. Valley Girl was okay. I like the pop hits. Some of Waka Jawaka. There's a couple of albums that are not bad, but for the most part, you don't catch me putting on Frank Zappa. Pressed on 180 gram vinyl, cut by Chris Bellman at Bernie Grundman Mastering, 2001. But yeah, what is this? This is featuring the original single LP plus 2 additional LPs, a period perfect vintage mixes from the vault. Includes the John Lennon Encore and the original Billy the Mountain. What's the John Lennon Encore? What's going on here? Not a clue. Maybe John came on stage and jammed. I'm not really sure what happened there. Soundtrack to Cruella. Let's see. This is black and white swirl vinyl. This is actually, I've not seen the movie. My wife has seen it probably like 1,000 times because every time I go upstairs, she seems to be watching it. But this is actually a pretty good soundtrack overall. I mean, it's the Bee Gees, The Doors, Nina Simone, Ohio Players, ELO, Queen, The Clash, Ike and Tina Turner, Florence and the Machine. I mean, that's a pretty solid soundtrack, right? Juice WRLD, Fighting Demons. Let's see. A double. Okay, what else do we got? Morena, Ancient Dreams in a Modern Land. Trouble, Skull. Dream Theater. Dream Theater, Lost, live in New York City, 1993. Lost Not Forgotten Archive. So they're doing kind of a bunch of archival releases, it looks like. New Santana album. Now, I got to tell you, the last couple of albums he's put out have actually been quite good. Blessings and Miracles. Now, like, look who's on this. First thing I noticed, and keep in mind, this is an album that, like, is just coming out, but Chick Corea's on it. More jazz. Let me see. I think Chris Stapleton was on this. Kurt Hammett from Metallica, right? I mean, this is kind of Rob Thomas again from Supernatural. G-Eazy, Steve Winwood. That's, yeah. I don't know. Maybe it's good. His last couple have been quite good. Golden Earring, Moontan. Let me see. 5,000 individually numbered copies on transparent vinyl. On a side note, I booked my tickets to the Mega Record Fair in Europe in April. It's been a couple years since I've been able to go. I'm super looking forward to it. I'm going to set up a table there. So if you European YouTube watchers are around, come say hi. But I'll be setting up a table. I'm not really sure what I'm going to bring, but I'm going to be buying lots of records and selling a couple, but mainly going to buy a bunch of records. Looking forward to that. The Mars Volta, some more, what is he, glow in the dark? Yeah, they're giving us US copies, glow in the dark, but, these are a lot of the just titles that came in the box sets, like Landscape Tantrums, unfinished original recordings. But where is, like, Deloused? They haven't given us that one yet. Glow in the dark vinyl. Ministry, Toronto, 1986, and I grabbed another album. Shamika Copeland, Uncivil War. Ace Frehley, Origins Volume 2, 2020, brand new highlight. What is this? Brand new 2020 hindsight from Ace Frehley. It's doing a lot of covers on here. It looks like, yeah, it's Space Truckin', 30 Days in the Hole, and the Beatles, I'm Down. 45 RPM. Double vinyl. Trouble. What else do we got? More Trouble. Got Trouble here. Trouble. Manic Frustration. Alan Parsons. One Note Symphony, live in Tel Aviv. I'm actually going to see Alan Parsons, I think, next month. God, what is this, the triple disc? Feels like there's a lot of vinyl here. 1, 2, 3, yeah, triple disc. Import. God, $35 for a triple. Holy cow. They must have not got the memo that all the other labels are passing around where they should be charging like $80 for that. Elvin Bishop, 100 Years of Blues. Hypocrisy, Worship, black, purple, and white splatter vinyl on Nuclear Blast. Reggie Snow, Ball Black Sheep on Empire. Colin Hay, limited edition blue vinyl. What's the name of this album? Now and the Evermore. All right, what do we got here? Limited to 1,650. That is a extremely weird number. Ministries Moral Hygiene. Limited to 1,650 copies. This is on green vinyl. Annie DeFranco, self-titled. I saw Annie DeFranco in the 90s, and it was actually, yeah, it was an interesting concert. It wasn't a bad concert. It's much different than anything I was listening to as, you know, a young teenager, but wasn't bad. I saw Trey Anastasio actually the day after at the same venue. That was awesome. He did a pretty rousing Jimi Hendrix cover set. Flaming Groovies now on Liberation Hall. New Sonic Youth album. I was a little shocked to see this. I must be a little out of the loop. I kind of felt like this band had been broken up, but two separate versions of this. There is a more budget-ish version. Looks like just a normal printed jacket. In Out In is the name of the album. Somebody here in the store told me that it's a really good album. They heard a couple tracks on it and they were impressed. And what is this? This is the Indie Store exclusive version on maroon. Let's see. Oh, Indie exclusive maroon cover and vinyl. Okay, so kind of cool. They changed the cover and the vinyl color. Enough's Enough. The band. Ferrari and the bank says yes. State Farm says no. Never seen before. 1985. Man, I actually saw a 308 rolling down the street this morning on the way to work. It doesn't look as cool as it once did back in the day. I guess cars have gotten a little cooler. What is this? My Hero Academia Season 5 soundtrack on Sony. Keith Richards, Main Offender. With the now drummer for the Rolling Stones, of course, Steve Jordan, who was in The Expansive Winos. Billy Cobham, Spectrum. This album is amazing. I don't think I've ever showed this record before, but you guys got to listen to this. You don't even have to listen to this album. Go online, plop up on the YouTube, listen to Stratus. You got to get through the first couple of minutes, but listen to all of Stratus and tell me that like this is not. First of all, he's an unbelievable drummer. He was supposed to play over in Mason. I was going to see him, and then the show got canceled. I was so bummed out. But listen to Stratus. This record is unbelievable. There's a few versions of it. This is the Friday music version of it. There's also a music on vinyl version. And typically you can find this record quite easily in record stores for around the $20-ish range. Really, really, really good record. The Gin Blossoms live in concert, Blue Haze vinyl. From 2008. Ohio Player, Skin Tight. I guess I should have known better about saying there's barely any jazz. But it's not predominantly jazz in this. But here's some more jazz from Pure Pleasure, stuff I didn't get to show last week. On Tribe, Wendell Harrison, Get Up Off Your Knees. I don't think I showed this last week, but maybe I did. Not 100% sure. And more jazz, the Gil Evans Orchestra. Again, you could search all the Pure Pleasure stuff on the website using the top menu by search by label. Kebmo. Back by popular demand. I feel like this is, yeah, this was 2004. This is a more recent album. This is a great album. I always dug this album. Ike and Tina Turner. I wish they'd get some of her early stuff, or anything for that matter, in print. Almost nothing from Ike and Tina are in print. But yeah, this album is awesome. And some more avant-garde jazz. Norman Williams. The One Mind Experience. The Bishop on Teresa. For you avant-garde jazz lovers. Baby jazz, as my wife would call it. The Groundhogs. Scratching the Surface. Also on Pure Pleasure. And Starry, Starry Night. Paul Clavis. Not familiar with this at all. And Slash 4. This is the box set featuring Miles Kennedy, Slash 4. Not really sure what comes in this box set. They do not tell you. Stuff. I mean, stuff is coming. But yeah. Hopefully that stuff is not fragile, because it might be messing it up. I guess I should stop. But yeah, the post office is going to do that. All right. There it is, Slash 4. And that is it for this week's new arrivals. On a side note, I wanted to, good customer of mine, Jason, is getting married to Tanya, April 15th. I wanted to say congratulations. I know she seems to cater a little bit to your record buying passion, which is always a good thing. That I think will make for a very happy marriage. I know my wife puts up with it on a very extreme level, and that's boded well for me. So the fact that she seems to be tolerant of it is good for you. Record collectors are a very, very, very difficult, the fanatical record collectors are the very, very difficult group of people, I would imagine, to put up with for most women. But yeah, congratulations, you two. All right, guys, check out the website, www.theingroove.com. Almost forgot the website there. Until next time.